on DC News Now, we're talking about a few showers out there this morning, so keep that in mind. More details on when these finally move out coming up.
Also coming up this morning, searching for a gunman on a scooter. A Good Samaritan is shot trying to stop a scooter robbery. How the victim is doing this morning and what we know about the suspects.
And honoring a trailblazer, how D.C. is paying tribute to former Mayor Marion Barry for his decades-long dedication to the district.
And stopping the cycle, how a new program in Hagerstown is keeping repeat offenders out of prison for good.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
All right, good Tuesday morning.
It's Tuesday.
I wish it was Wednesday.
It's only
Actually, wish it was
Tuesday.
Friday.
Me too.
It's 6 o'clock though. Good morning to you. I'm Corey James.
Good morning. I'm Tanaya Wright. We're going to start you off with a live look outside this morning. Look, oh, look at that. There is actually snow out there.
Yeah, so this is back over towards Friendsville, Maryland. We're taking a live view of this wintry looking scene. And yes, we are tracking some snow showers, especially for those higher elevations into Garrett County, into western Maryland. This is not going to be moving its way east. We're just mainly tracking this for those higher elevations. Already reporting 1.3 inches of snow has already fallen in Grantsville this morning. But as we take a look at satellite and radar showing us the setup, we do have this trough working its way through, and that air aloft is much colder than at the surface, so that has resulted in those snow showers being produced back out towards western Maryland. The rest of the region, we did see some spotty rain showers. Those did move right along 66 and into the Beltway not too long ago. That has since pushed its way off towards our east. Some spotty sprinkles out there right now, but again, winter weather advisory back out towards Garrett County. That continues until 10 a.m. this morning, likely seeing a little bit more of that accumulation over the course of the next couple of hours. Temperatures out there right now, low 40s right along I-81, right around 50 in the district, 52 in Fredericksburg. We're seeing that wind mainly out of the south-southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour right now. A few gusts in excess of 20 miles per hour, making it feel a little bit cooler, especially where we're not seeing those temperatures in the 50s. So back over towards the I-81 corridor, we're feeling like we're into the upper 30s right now, including Hagerstown. A few of those rain showers dotting the radar through the afternoon and into the early evening, so make sure you do have the rain gear on hand. I'll have more details on this coming up, but Shanika's here with the all-important look at the roadways. How's traffic?
All right, well, we're already starting to see some slowdowns out there, Jackie. We're looking at DC 295 heading southbound. This is a hot spot right near Eastern and Kenilworth Avenue. No problems heading northbound. Now, we do have one issue out there. This is in Northern Virginia, Great Falls. That's heading north right near Idlewood Road. Watch for a crash, but it doesn't look like it's causing much of an issue for commuters at this time. You're in the 6 o'clock hour. Top side, you're still looking good. Lower side, no problems at all. And then 66, 95, the mixing bowl, all of that is looking good. 95 on the Maryland side is also running with no issue. But the only thing you're dealing with here is those heavy delays right here on DC 295. So do watch for that, guys.
All right, Shanika, thank you. Your time right now is 6:02.
That is right. Here's a look at some of your No and Go headlines on this Tuesday. A man is in the hospital right now after being shot when he tried to stop a teenager from stealing a scooter. This happened on S Street in Northwest at about 8 o'clock last night. DC police are looking for 3 teens in connection to that shooting.
And after more than 50 years of serving the state of Maryland, Senator Ben Cardin is retiring next year. He made the announcement yesterday. Now, Cardin was first elected to the Maryland House of Delegates back in 1966.
And the Montgomery County Council will hold a public hearing today to discuss a proposed increase in property taxes. County Executive Mark Elrich says the nearly 10-cent increase is in response to the Board of Education's largest ever requested budget. Happening now, 2 Virginia inmates are on the run after escaping from jail. Now, one of them is charged in the murder of a deputy in North Carolina. The Prince Edward County Sheriff's Office says Alder Marin Sotelo and Bruce Callahan escaped from the Piedmont Regional Jail just hours apart on Sunday. Callahan has a past drug conviction. Right now, an urgent manhunt is underway for these 2 men. Authorities say they are using Virginia State helicopters, police helicopters, and K-9 officers, as well as law enforcement from multiple agencies in their search. Anyone with any information is asked to call 911.
And Metro's orange and blue plus lines are back open this morning. Those lines were tracking after a woman fell on the tracks near the Minnesota Avenue station in Southeast. Now, Metro says that happened around 11 o'clock last night. The woman was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. And D.C. police are investigating a shooting at that same Metro station. Police say it happened around 3 p.m. in the Minnesota Avenue station's bus bay. Officials say the victim's injuries are not life-threatening. No word on any suspects at this time. Metro says service was not impacted.
Your time now is 6:04. Developing this morning, a scary scene unfolding in a busy D.C. neighborhood. A man was shot after trying to stop a scooter theft. We do want to get right to our Joseph Omo, who is live in Northwest this morning. So, Joseph, what do we know right now?
Well, tonight the search is still on this morning for 3 teenagers who were trying to steal another scooter last night. They went on a downward spiral very, very quickly when one bystander, you mentioned earlier in the newscast, a Good Samaritan, tried to intervene, get in the middle, and stop it all from happening. He ended up getting shot. Well, let's take you to the scene and what this looked like yesterday. This is the Logan Circle neighborhood. It's a popular area with a lot of bars, restaurants, and foot traffic. The specific streets that we're on right now, 14th and S. Now, what we can confirm right now, police say 3 teens, they're on a scooter, they attempt to jack another scooter, and that's when a witness who was also on a scooter got in the middle and tried to intervene. He was shot, and then those 3 teenagers ended up running away. Well, yesterday on the scene, we were able to speak to an eyewitness. He saw everything unfold. Why? Because he was walking to his car, which was on the opposite end of the street where all of this was happening. He didn't want to go on cam, but take a listen to what he said.
He was on the phone. He called the police on them. He tried to stop them, and then the 3 kids, they tried to steal the white scooter, and one of them shot the guy, and they shot him about. I heard about 3-4 times. He was shot his stomach.
And back here on the scene this morning, we are learning from police that that man was sent to the hospital conscious and breathing. No update on his condition as of yet. And those 3 suspects, those 3 teenage boys who that eyewitness told us looked like they were between 12 and 15 years old, they are still on the run this morning. Reporting in Northwest D.C., I'm Joseph Omo. D.C. News Now. Back to you.
Also developing this morning, we are learning more after a man was hit and killed by a tractor trailer. Now, police say Maurice Mitchell was hit on Route 50 in Maryland yesterday afternoon. Police say the 42-year-old was actually a suspect in a stabbing that happened in Annapolis earlier in the day. Now, both the crash and the stabbing remain under investigation right now. And Maryland Senator Ben Cardin is wrapping up a nearly half-a-century career in public office. The 79-year-old says he is not seeking re-election when his 3rd term is up next year.
Yeah, the Democratic senator released a video to announce his retirement. Cardin says there is a lot he has been able to get done, but he still has work to do in his final years in office.
I want to make sure that small businesses are protected in this really challenging environment. We got to take care of the Chesapeake Bay. We're not finished yet. Baltimore City needs some real attention, and I'm in a position to do some things to help in the healthcare arena. I want to make sure that we expand telehealth. I want to make sure we deal with behavioral health and mental health issues. So I still have a lot more work to do during these next 2 years.
Cardin was first elected to the Maryland House of Delegates back in 1966. He then moved to the Senate in 2007.
Now, with Cardin stepping down, an open Senate seat is likely to stir up a crowded primary in the blue-leading state of Maryland. Democrats are hoping to keep that seat, while Republicans want to see some change. Some possible high-profile Democrats include Congressman David Trone and Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks. But some think former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan could fill the seat if he runs.
He was able to win in that very blue state of Maryland twice, and so he would be a formidable opponent if he were in this contest.
Now, we've reached out to some of the politicians to see if they do plan on running. So far, we have not yet got a response. And meantime, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin tells the Wall Street Journal that he is not running for president. The governor says he is focused on the midterm elections and helping Virginia Republicans take control of the state Senate. And happening today, people who live in Montgomery County will get to voice their opinion on a possible property tax increase.
Yeah, this hearing comes as the council continues to review next year's operating budget. Now, DC News Now's Tosin Fakile is live in the newsroom with details on what you need to know for that meeting today. Tosin, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Corey. People will get to speak up at that hearing today about that property tax increase, dealing with what's called the constant yield tax rate, also known as CYRT. Now, CYRT is the real property tax, and that increase is about 10% above, 10 cents above what it is right now. And that increase is what some who live in Montgomery County say could be the difference between people being able to afford a home and people being able to stay in their home. Now, that 10-cent tax rate increase was proposed by County Executive Mark Elridge in early April. Elridge said the money would go towards Montgomery County public schools, and the proposal was immediately met with pushback from some residents and even some on the council. Now, that constant yield rate tax rate is the tax rate that a jurisdiction would have to impose so it can get the same amount of property tax revenue. Right now, that rate is 0.67 cents. The proposed increase to that property tax rate would push the rate above the CYRT to 0.77 cents. Now, some organizations and residents have already sent in their statements ahead of today's public hearing, stating their disapproval of that increase. In a statement from Deerfield Weathered Oaks Citizens Association, it says, quote, "We want good schools, but we also want good stewardship of county funds and do not want to drive homeowners away from the county and have high property taxes with a double-digit property tax rate increase that causes Montgomery County to be unappealing for businesses and their employees." Now, that public hearing is scheduled today for 1:30 this afternoon, and I do want to point out that this all has to do with fiscal year 2024, but 2024 budget for that council, and the council is having budget work sessions throughout this month. For now, we're live in the newsroom. I'm Tosin Fakile for DC News Now. Back to you.